You know the one I'm talking about? That little light on your dashboard that looks kind of like a flat tire? Yeah, that one. It's got to be one of the most annoying warnings you can get. But don't worry, because today we're going to break down exactly how to fix it yourself and save a ton of money while you're at it.
Yep, there it is. I'm willing to bet if you're here, you're very familiar with this little guy glowing on your dash. You've done the right thing, right? You've checked your tires, you've filled them up with air, but the light just won't go out. Well, 9 times out of 10, that means one thing. There's a tiny little battery deep inside one of your tires that's finally died.
Okay, so let's get right to the money, because this is where it gets really interesting. If you take your car to a shop, you could be looking at around $150 per wheel to get this fixed. But to do it yourself, the parts cost about $20. Seriously, that is a huge difference, and we are going to walk through exactly how you can keep that cash in your pocket. But hold on! Before you grab the tools and start pulling wheels off, we need to cover the basics. You gotta rule out the simple stuff first, because sometimes, believe it or not, the fix is way easier than you think and doesn't cost a dime.
So, to really tackle this, you gotta know what you're dealing with. The system is called TPMS. That's the Tire Pressure Monitoring System, and it really only does 2 things. Job number 1 is the obvious one. It warns you if your tire pressure is genuinely low. But job number 2 is to tell you when something is wrong with the system itself, and the most common problem? You guessed it, a sensor with a dead battery.
All right, so your first 2 steps here are absolutely critical. First, get a good tire gauge, not one of those cheapo ones from the gas station, and make sure every single tire is inflated to the exact pressure listed on the sticker inside your driver's side door. Then, and this is the important part, you have to recalibrate the system. You're basically telling the car, hey, this pressure right here, this is the new normal. You can usually do this with a button or through a menu in your car's settings. And you know what? Sometimes just doing this is enough to make that light disappear for good. Okay, so you've done all that. You check the pressure, you hit the reset button, but that light is still staring back at you. Well, all right then. Time to put on our detective hats and figure out which one of these sensors has given up the ghost. So, you've got a few ways to track down the bad guy. The absolute easiest way is if your car just tells you right on the dash, like, hey, right rear tire sensor is out. If you're not that lucky, a standard OBD2 scanner, that little tool that plugs in under the steering wheel, can often read a fault code. It'll give you something like C1503. A quick search for that code online will usually point you to the right wheel. But the most direct, surefire method is to use a dedicated TPMS tool.
And this little chart right here really lays it all out. See, your car's display or a basic scanner, they might help you find the problem. But here's the kicker. Neither one of them can do the last most important step, which is programming the new sensor. For that, you absolutely need the dedicated TPMS tool. It's the only one that can do the whole shebang.
And this is usually the point where most people get stuck. It's the biggest hurdle for DIYers. That moment when you realize, oh man, I need a special tool for this. And you start thinking about how much it's going to cost. I mean, let's be real. When you find out you need a $200 or $300 scanner just to do this one job, that's usually when people throw their hands up and say, forget it, I'll just take it to the shop. But listen, don't give up just yet, because there are some really clever ways around this.
So here's what you can do. You can always borrow one from a buddy. Or you could even call a local shop and ask if they'll do just the final programming part for a small fee. But my absolute favorite trick, buy a used one online for maybe 40 or 50 bucks. Do the job and then just sell it again for what you paid for it. It's like a free rental. Of course, if you want to own one, you can find some cheaper off-brand tools online for about 120 bucks.
Okay, listen up, because this is super important. Before you click buy on anything, you have to make sure your tool can talk to your sensor. Some brands, Autel is a big one, they lock their tools so they will only program their own brand of sensors. So do a little research first. I promise you it'll save you a massive headache down the road. All right, you've got your parts, you've got your tool, now it's time to get our hands dirty. This is the part that might look a little intimidating, but trust me, you can totally do this. So here's the game plan, step by step. First, get the wheel off the car and let every last bit of air out of it. Next, you got to break the bead. That just means pushing the sidewall of the tire down and away from the edge of the wheel, just enough so you can see inside and get to the sensor. Once you can reach it, it's easy. Just unscrew the little 11mm nut on the old one, pop it out, lube up the rubber stem on the new sensor, and pull it right through the hole.
Now, you might have seen some stuff online about cutting open the old sensor and trying to solder in a new battery. Look, is it technically possible? Yeah. Is it a good idea? Not really. It's a temporary fix, at best. For all the work you're putting in, just spend the 20 bucks on a brand new sensor. It's the only reliable choice, trust me. Okay, the new sensor is in place, the tire's aired up, and it's back on the car. We are on the home stretch now, people. The only thing left to do is make the car and the new sensor talk to each other, that final electronic handshake.
And this is where that special tool earns its keep. First, you use it to wake up the new sensor and tell it what kind of car it's living in now. Then, you're going to walk around the car and scan all 4 sensors to get their unique ID numbers. And for the grand finale, you plug the tool into the car's OBD2 port and tell the car's computer, okay, it's time to learn these new sensor IDs. And these are the magic words you're looking for. The tool will talk to the car, it'll do its thing, and then you'll see a message pop up that says something like, relearn successful. And that's it. That's the moment you know you've nailed it.
So let's just circle back for a second and remember why we went through all this. I mean, the chart really says it all. That shop repair was going to be $150. Even if you bought a used tool and decided to keep it, you're only out about $60. But if you do what I suggested and sell that tool when you're done, you just fix this whole problem for the cost of the part. $20. That's it.
And that, my friends, is the best feeling in the world. You turn the key, you look at your dash, and it's clear. That annoying light is finally gone. Not only did you save a bunch of money, but you just learned how to do something new. That's a win-win. So now that this light is conquered, it really just leaves one question. What are you going to fix next?